got it on the recording. Put it back in the room, but it's because you need to be able to see me in just a minute. So welcome, excited to be here. So as she mentioned, I am with Extension. I'm Extension faculty and I work in Beaver County. I have kind of a dual role. I do a lot of FCS programming, plus I also am involved in 4-H. So I work with youth and adults, and my main program area really is health and wellness. And I was doing a lot of health and wellness programming in my community for youth and younger adults, but I didn't have anything that really met the older adult population need. So my husband and I actually trained together in Tai Chi about 3.5 years ago. And we trained with Dr. Paul Lam. And we have been teaching Tai Chi since then. And I've also now got 5 volunteers or 5 other people that are teaching Tai Chi throughout the state. And we connected with the Council on Aging in our county. And so we mostly teach people that are 50 and above, but Tai Chi is for everyone. So Tai Chi is different. You may or may not be familiar. I'd like to be able to converse with you personally so I would know if you have any experience in Tai Chi. If you want to unmute yourself and answer a question about that, or tell me if you've ever done Tai Chi, that would be great too. So feel free to do that. But Tai Chi really is meditation in motion. It combines some very slow movements with deep breathing exercises. It is super good for balance. You see a lot of people that lose their balance as they age, and actually falls are the #1 accident-related death for people 65 and older. So that's really not very old, and that's a huge statistic with that they deal with balance. It helps with flexibility. It increases strength, and it's really good for cognitive function. Unlike other exercise programs in Tai Chi, you're not going to have to wear your exercise clothes. You're not going to get sweaty. We're not going to ask you to jump up and down. There is no impact to Tai Chi. You probably won't breathe hard, and it's kind of a different mindset to learn Tai Chi. If you're like me, I was always about, well, if I exercise, I have to sweat and breathe hard, and it has to hurt at the end in order for it to be effective. That is not true with Tai Chi. In fact, the first precaution that we give anyone in Tai Chi is if it hurts, don't do it. And nothing should put you out of your comfort zone or make you hurt physically. So that is one caution that I will give you as we do this. And we're going to do some Tai Chi, and you're going to be able to see what it looks like. There has been a lot of research on it and a lot of benefits to it. People who practice on a regular basis, 3 to 4 times a week, even just 15 to 20 minutes a time, will see a lot of benefit from it. One thing with Tai Chi is you're not going to see or recognize some of the benefits right away. You may have to do Tai Chi consistently for 3 to 6 months before you really start to see any improvement in your health. As my husband and I did it, we didn't notice a lot until we tried to do something that we were doing before or couldn't do, and then all of a sudden, oh, I can do that, or I can step up on this high step and I have more balance. And I noticed a lot of strength that came from it. Plus I noticed a lot of stress release. When I went to teach Tai Chi, I would go to work and I would just be going all day, and I'd go into Tai Chi like, okay, let's go, let's hurry to get through this. And by the time we got through, it was like, oh, I'm glad we're all having a good day, and let's go home and let's be calm. So it really does calm the mind. And I think that's one of the things that's really great about it. You can really learn to be in what they call the zone, and really take that time to relax and actually not think. And I think that's really helpful. Excuse me. So if you'd like to, go ahead and stand up, and we're going to do a little bit of Tai Chi. It's not something that is always easy to follow along with. And it takes quite a while to learn a lot of the moves, but you'll be able to just do your best. One of our mottos is do what you can, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. So that's my suggestion to you today. So when we start with Tai Chi, Tai Chi is actually a form of a martial art, but it is not the type that you're going to see on the Karate Kid as far as the fast movements. The movements are similar, but they go super slow. And so you're not going to have any of that fast, hard movement. I was going to say something else, can't remember what I said. Oh, this Tai Chi is specifically for arthritis and for fall prevention. There are many types of different Tai Chi out there. Again, this is through the Institute of Tai Chi with Paul Lam. And so you may have done Tai Chi differently, but just know that there are a lot of different kinds. So when we begin Tai Chi, you may also do it seated. There are seated options. And a lot of the times this is used for rehabilitation. So they can do it seated or from a hospital bed or anything like that. So when we first begin, we're going to spread our hands and we walk around and we greet everybody. And this is just getting us warmed up and happy to be here and smiling at everybody. So we smile and we walk around a little bit, and we get ready to begin our practice of Tai Chi. In Tai Chi with Dr. Paul Lam, you'll take your left hand and make it flat, and you'll put your right hand in it. This is just a form of a greeting or a form of gratitude, thank you. And we begin and we end with this. So we are ready to start with our warm-up. With our warm-up, we do each exercise or movement 3 times. And we start up at the neck and we work our way down. So one thing with Tai Chi is we want you to be very balanced. We want you to stand with your feet about shoulder width apart. And you're really going to kind of sink those heels into the floor. You're going to pretend like there's a string coming out of your head to the ceiling so that you have great posture, but you want to make sure you're relaxed. So the first exercise or warm-up that we're going to do is our neck. And I want you to bring your hands up in front of you. And then you're going to take one hand and move it to the side, and it does not matter which one. And you're just going to look at your hand. You're going to go about 3/4 of the way and then come back into the center. And you're turning your neck. You're just starting to warm up your neck. You're going to take your opposite hand and go to the opposite side. Come back to center. And begin on the other side again. Now, as you go back and forth, you should be taking some deep breaths. And remember, this is super slow, and you do not extend yourself. We never extend our arms fully out, and we never turn our neck clear to the side. So we've got one more. And that will be our 3 right there. and come back to center. All right, I need to check my book. Hang on. All right. So the next one is also a neck exercise. You're going to start with your hands coming up like you did originally. And then you're going to bring them back like you're pushing your chin in. And it kind of just pushes your chin in as you inhale. And as you exhale, your hands go out and then down. And I'm going to stand to the side so you can see that a little bit differently too. So when you come up like this, you bring your hands, you inhale, and your chin just pushes back. And as you exhale, your hands go out, and then you bend your neck downward. Let's do that one more time. So up, inhale and push that chin back, and exhale and look down. Pretty simple, right? The next one is our shoulders. We have 2 for each of the areas on our body. And this is just an easy roll your shoulders back. And we do that 3 times. And then we roll them forward 3 times. And if you have any questions as we go along, feel free to ask. And the next one is you're going to bring your arms up as you inhale. You only bring them to about shoulder, so your arms are right up by your shoulders. And then you push down as you breathe out. This is a, and it's an inhale, breathe in, and breathe out. And then breathe in, and out. Excellent. All right, let's move to our spine. We want to start with our hands in front of us like we're holding a ball. Holding a ball right here. And we're going to take our bottom hand, we're going to rotate it to the top, and we're going to put it just above our forehead. And then our top hand is going to come down here. And as we separate those hands, we're going to inhale and try to separate your spine. It's a small movement. And then you come back to the ball, and you're going to switch hands. One hand by your forehead, one hand about waist level, and inhale, separate that spine. Come back to the ball, and again. Inhale. Make yourself taller. Separate those vertebrae. And this is a lot of inhale and exhale. So inhale here and exhale. Well, let's do that one more time. Okay, come back to the ball. In Tai Chi, we get our energy from our palms facing each other. And so on our moves, we have our palms face, they rotate around each other, they come back, and they face each other. That's part of our energy. So the next spinal warm-up, whichever elbow is up, you're going to turn at the waist toward that elbow. So it's just a small turn. Again, just barely. You change places with your hands. The bottom goes to the top, and you turn back. Just moving your spine. Rotate those hands. Turn toward the elbow that is up. Rotate your hands and turn back. And anytime if you feel dizzy or lightheaded, just go ahead and sit. You can do most of these from the sitting position. This will be our last one, and we'll come back to center. Okay. All right, now we're going to move to our waist. On this one, you're going to pretend like there's a wall next to you and you're putting your hands on the wall. And you're going to make sure all the weight is on your foot next to the wall, and you're just going to step out, just a small step out from the wall, and then bring it back in. Push against that opposite wall, weight on the foot next to the wall, or pretend wall, and step out. And bring that foot back in. In Tai Chi, it's all about shifting our weight intentionally. And so I'm intentionally putting all my weight on that foot by the wall so I can lift this one up and move it out. This will increase balance. If you cannot lift that foot all the way off the floor, you can just kind of slide it and keep that foot there. We don't want you to do anything that's going to cause you to fall or to become off balance. Okay. Sometimes when I talk, I lose track, and we do 3 or we do 4, but it's just fine if we do it that way. So the next one with our waist here, we're going to I will show it to you and then we will do it. We have our hands up like this. As they come down, we always do, I'm going to turn sideways. When they go to the back, then I point to the front. And then I come to center, and my foot goes back and my arms go forward. So there's always a balance there. So go ahead and let's try that. Let's start with our arms going up in front. Bring them back to center and to the back, and then point. Doesn't matter which foot we start with. Come to center with hands and foot back, hands up. Back to center and foot forward, and center and foot back. And let's do one more of those. And there's several ways to do this. Let's come back to center. As you notice, I just tapped my foot forward, center, and back. That's fine. Or you can slide it, or you can lift it all the way up, depending on your balance and your confidence level. So let's switch feet. We're going to start with our hands up like this. And as they come back, I'm going to point forward. And you can lift. You can do it this way. And there is no right or wrong way to do this. I'm just giving you a few different options to do that. Hands forward and back to center. All right, that is our waist. Now we're moving to our knees. And I want you to make just really loose fists, nothing tight or stress. This is supposed to de-stress us, not stress. Loose fists. And start with the right foot, and I'll try to mirror you. Start with the right foot and you just point it forward, and then you're going to punch with your left hand. And all your weight stays on your back foot. And then you come back to center. Then you're going to switch feet and point and punch. You can see that these are all very gentle movements. And this one especially is working on that weight shift and that balance. Put all your weight on your right foot and point with your left. And come back. Do not shift forward. Point and punch. And come back. And point and punch. And come back. Okay, this next one is similar to this one, except this time we are going to shift our weight forward. So as you point, you're actually going to step. So it's a step and punch. So all my weight goes forward. And I'll turn this way again. So it's a step and punch, and all my weight is on my forward leg here. And come back. And then step and punch. And I'm not making a big step out. It's quite a short step. We don't want you to reach too far. It's mostly about just shifting weight. So step and shift that weight forward and bring it back in. And again. And let's do one more. All right, we've reached our ankle now, and if you need to balance by holding onto a chair, feel free to do that. But this time, what we're going to do is we're going to touch our heel and our toe, and then heel, toe, heel, toe. Then we'll do our other foot, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. This is a warm up for your ankle. And then you're going to turn your foot in and then out. And in and then out. And just touch the side of your foot in and then out. So let's do the other one. In and turn out. And turn in and turn out. In and out. Okay, so that is the warm-up. That is what we do for a warm-up every time. One thing that I wanted to talk about before we get into some of the moves is the breathing. So if you put your hand right here in your chest and you take a deep breath, your hand usually moves because you're breathing in your chest. Then if you put it right here in your stomach and inhale, then your hand is probably moving. In Tai Chi, we want you to try to breathe from just below your belly button. You'll put your hands just below your belly button and inhale and try to poke your belly out. And you stick your belly out as you inhale and you bring it back in as you exhale. This is contrary to most of us, especially if we're older, because we always learn to not stick your belly out. But when we breathe in Tai Chi, you're trying to move that belly so it goes out, and it's right below your belly button. That is your chi, or where your energy comes from. So you're going to inhale and push that belly out, and exhale and bring that belly back in. And you probably can't see it very well, but go ahead and inhale, push that belly out, and exhale and bring that back in. So when we breathe in Tai Chi, and this takes a long time to learn, we want to breathe deeper. Obviously, we're not putting air into our belly. It doesn't go there, but we are trying to open up and expand our lung area so that we can breathe deeply and get as much air in and then intentionally breathe out. So that's one thing to remember with Tai Chi. So I'm going to teach you the very easiest Tai Chi movement to begin with. It's called open and close. And this is a transition move. We use it between a lot of the other movements. So again, palms facing each other. Your hands are a little bit rounded and they're just in by your shoulders. And as you inhale, your hands move out. And exhale, and they move in. And try that again. Inhale. And exhale. Normally when I'm teaching Tai Chi, I see people doing this. This is much too big of a movement. We want them right here, about shoulder width. In Tai Chi, those who practice Tai Chi for a while and start to really feel the motion and the rhythm, will be able to feel that as they inhale and they're pulling out, there's a little bit of resistance there. And as they exhale and push in, they're pushing against your resistance. And again, trying to breathe from deep down in our bellies. So this is called open and close. So give yourself a hand. You've learned one basic Tai Chi movement. so that's great. And the next one, I will demonstrate it for you, and then you can do it with me. And I'll do it forward facing and turn to the side, and then I'll probably turn around on some of them because it's easier to follow from behind. But let me just show you what it looks like. The first one's called commencement. And again, I stand and my feet are about shoulder width apart, heels down into the ground. My head is pulled up by that imaginary string there, and my shoulders are relaxed. And with commencement, I begin by bringing my hands forward, my palms facing. They come down into a U shape, and I start to shift my weight. And I step forward with my left foot. My hands go out toward the wall. They come back in as I step. And I transition to an open and close motion. So let me do that from the side. So I'm standing here. This is called commencement. Hands come up about shoulder height. They make a U shape. And they come up right next to your chest. You're going to do it without the step for a minute. This is just the hand motions. So they're going to come up, palms facing. They make a U shape. Come up next to your chest. And then push out toward the wall. They come back in. And it's an open and close. So when I put this footwork with that, bring my hands up. I make that U shape, and as I start to come down, you can see I bend my knees, and I'm starting to put my weight on my right foot. And as they come up, I lift that left foot. It's a small step out, and I hit heel, toe. Bring my right foot in line, hands back. And open and close. Another thing in Tai Chi, whenever you step, you always step heel, toe. And if you'll even notice this when you're walking and or going for a walk someplace, your balance, you really want that heel, toe down, weight is shifting, bring that foot forward, heel, toe down, weight is shifting. This is the balance that will help prevent the falls. So commencement, again, I wish I could see you because I could tell where you're at, but it's okay because this is just a learning introduction session. This is really what we want to do is introduce you to Tai Chi if you've never seen it before. And then if you are interested to seek out someplace that you can actually take a Tai Chi class. There are also some free classes online that you can look up and also do some of that. But we just really wanted to introduce you to it and let you know what it looks like. So let's do commencement again. I will turn to the side. I think it's easier that way for this move. So we're going to stand here. We're going to relax. We're going to put our hands up. Make that U shape. Shift your weight to the right foot. You're going to step left. Hands out. Bring them back in. Inhale, open and close. Okay, those are the first two moves. Let's do one more, and then I'll show you some cool down. The next one's called single whip. We just finished an open and close, and I'll show it to you, and then I'll turn around so you can follow me. But I shift my weight to my left foot. I'm going to make a 45-degree angle step with my right foot heel down. As I come forward, my weight is on both legs evenly. So I'm very strong stance here. My hands are going to flatten out like there's a wall in front of me, and then they're just going to slowly drift apart. And as they drift apart, I look and I watch my left hand. So the movement looks like this, open and close. Single whip. Okay, I'm going to turn around backwards. I think it's a little easier for you to follow. I hope you can see it well enough. Start right here with open and close. Shift your weight to this left foot. Step diagonal right. Forward, flatten out your hands, and they just shift as you watch your left hand. Okay, let's try that one more time. Open and close. Inhale and exhale. Shift your weight, step right. Flatten those hands and let them just drift slowly apart. Okay, let's try those three just in succession. One of the things about Tai Chi is it really is dependent on the series of movements. So this, again, this Tai Chi is for fall prevention and arthritis, but there's also Tai Chi for heart disease and diabetes and different ailments that we have. And the sequence of the movements has been changed to meet the needs. And that has come from Dr. Paul Lam. So we're going to do 3 moves. We're going to do commencement, open and close, and then single flip. And I'm going to turn around backwards. So hopefully you can get this. I'm going to take a deep breath and relax before I start. Commencement, my arms come up in front of me. They make a U shape down. I'm going to step forward with my left foot. Arms go out. Bring them back in. Open and close. You're going to step with your right foot. Diagonal. Heel toe down. Flatten your hands. And then they come apart. All right. So those are asking me about virtual classes. There are some. I would search for Dr. Paul Lam. They do have his maybe have a cost attached to it, but there are others out there that are free. But at least you will know which ones are there and what you can choose from. I don't have a specific one that I would say do virtually. I am most familiar with Dr. Lam's courses. So that's the best answer I can give you there. I'm going to show you, there are part 1 and part 2. And part 1 is a basic level. Part 2 is a more advanced level. And I'm just going to demonstrate for you and let you watch to see what it looks like. And then we'll just do a very short cool down. So I'm going to start here with commencement. You're welcome to do it with me, or you're welcome to just watch. This move here is called waving hands. If you've ever watched The Karate Kid, it is the same movement as wax on, wax off. And we do most of the movements to both sides. Open and close. And I'm going to do a single whip to the left. And waving hands to the left. You'll notice how I step, shift weight, bring that foot in, and step, shift weight. Open and close. This one's called brush knee. And play the lute. And punch and parry. They build on each other and they get a little harder as you go along. Lock and close. Push the mountain. And then we turn back to the front. And I do brush knee to the right. And play the lute. And again, punch and parry. It's very slow. And I try not to extend my arms all the way out. So that is those are the 6 basic movements. But I wanted you to see kind of what they look like, because a lot of people just are not familiar with Tai Chi, and it's nice to see what it actually looks like. So now, and you can stand to do warm-ups. I normally, when I teach classes, we sit to do, cool downs, excuse me. We sit to do cool downs. It just gives us a chance to catch our breath and also to help those who are seated feel more comfortable. But it's a great option to sit, because you don't really need to stand for those cool downs. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make little fists, and we're going to pound our muscles, gently pound our muscles on our thigh muscles. And just as we cool down, we want to just relax our muscles. We want to take some deep breaths while we're sitting here. And again, take some time to not think. Okay, on this one, what we're going to do is we're going to take a big inhale breath and hold it for just a second. And as we do that, we're going to tense up all the muscles in our body. And then when we exhale, we're going to relax all the muscles in our body. So as we tense up, we're going to go inhale and tense, and then exhale slowly. And if we can count to 3 or 4 on that inhale and exhale, that's good. So it's tense up, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. And do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And then we have our last one. We're going to, and this is gathering. We are gathering all of the good stuff in our life. And then as we inhale, and then we're pushing out all the bad as we exhale. Think good thoughts. As you inhale and push all the negative away. And one more. And we always finish off with this salutation. It's just a welcome or a sign of gratitude. And thank you for joining me and spending the time with me. Let me check that chat again. So I know. Okay, so we offer 2 hybrid classes for employees, boot camp and yoga. The boot camp and yoga classes are both at noon on Mondays and Wednesdays, and we also record them if you're not able to make it at that time. So they're giving you some options to register for a yoga class. So Tai Chi is closely connected to yoga because of the breathing and the movements, but it is less stress on the joints. So if you have any other questions, let me know. I appreciate you being here, and know that I enjoy Tai Chi, and thanks for joining us today.